Kris Jenner. Let's get back to Kris. I think one of the very few mothers who basically sold their daughter. But what a great business mind Kris Jenner is. And Caitlyn is Kris. Oh, what the hell is his name?
Caitlyn, previously Bruce.
See, I can't read. I'm looking at saying Kris.
I think that Kim Kardashian caught that moment of femininity and sexuality. She is the it girl of what we're talking about. She is the it girl. She is the moment. She was talking about sex and people that's what their show. That's how it became popular. It's who they were dating. Who they were sleeping with. She's crying about her sex.
From Kourtney Kardashian publicly airing her family's dirty laundry to exposing Kris Jenner's alleged manipulation, the drama is as intense as ever. Kourtney's claims that her mother pimped Kylie Jenner out to older men and rappers have left fans in shock. Is this just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to Kris's influence over her daughters' lives? Could Kourtney finally be breaking free from the Kardashian-Jenner machine, or is there a deeper story that's yet to unfold? We will share all the shocking claims against the world's most famous momager. But before that, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and press the bell icon. Now it looks like Kourtney Kardashian has had enough of being part of the Kardashian-Jenner machine. After years of being part of one of the most famous families in the world, she started to push back, and not quietly. In recent weeks, she's been making waves by exposing her mother, Kris Jenner, and the entire family dynamic. Kourtney recently revealed that Kris has been pimping her youngest sister, Kylie Jenner, to rappers and older men in the industry. Yep, you heard that right. According to Kourtney, it's not just about Kylie's dating life, but the idea that Kris has been strongly encouraging her daughters to engage in questionable relationships, all in the name of fame and publicity. And let's be real, this isn't the first time we've heard whispers of Kris Jenner allegedly pushing her daughters into the spotlight for her own gain. But it seems Kourtney is over it and is now publicly holding her mom accountable for the toxic environment she's created. For years, Kris Jenner has been known as the momager, a term she's practically trademarked for her role in managing the careers of all 6 of her children. But for just as long, she's also been known by another, less flattering nickname, Mama Panderer. The entire Kardashian empire is built on controversy and drama, but it's also built on the backs of her daughters, with Kris pulling the strings. It's no secret that Kris encouraged her daughters, particularly Kim Kardashian, to make headlines for fame. But now, as more and more of the family's private dealings come to light, fans are starting to question just how far Kris is willing to go for fame and fortune. The first major clue came with the infamous Kim Kardashian and Ray J sex tape. For years, Kris and Kim maintained that the tape was leaked accidentally, but rumors have long circulated that Kris was heavily involved in orchestrating the release of the tape. Ray J even came out with explosive allegations, revealing that Kris was involved from the very beginning. He claimed that Kris oversaw the entire process of filming and editing the tape, choosing which scenes would be released to the public to maximize its impact. According to Ray J, the tape wasn't leaked. It was part of a calculated plan to catapult Kim and the entire family to fame.
Number 1, sex tape number 2, and guess what? The third sex tape or the second they've been trying to play me on, that shit called Santa Barbara Sex. Her mama made us go shoot it for safety. She watched them. Hey, we're gonna go with the first one because the first one is better. It gives my daughter a better look than the second one that I made y'all go do. But you watched it and made a decision, and then you get on whatever show you was on and take a lie detector test with a fraud.
Kris was unapologetic in her methods, manipulating situations, relationships, and public perceptions to build her family's brand into a billion-dollar empire. But what about her daughter's well-being? Kourtney seems to think that was never the priority. Kourtney's recent comments shine a new light on how Kris has allegedly continued to exploit her daughters. And Kylie Jenner, who is now 26 years old and one of the wealthiest women in the world, has apparently become another victim of Kris's tactics. According to Kourtney, Kylie is starting to experience trauma from the way older men in the industry have been able to take advantage of her, thanks to Kris's approval. Rumors have been swirling for years about Kris's involvement in Kylie's relationships, but now Kourtney is confirming that Kris has had a hand in pushing Kylie into some questionable situations. Take Kylie's relationship with rapper Tyga as an example. Tyga met Kylie when she was just 14 years old, and they started dating when she was only 17.
So like he ran his course, and then he started talking to Kylie at the time, which is, I think she was like 16 or something. Yeah, and we was like engaged and stuff. So that's really good friends. You know, like I was on her show and all this stuff like that. We lived in the same community. And then her little sister started, you know, talking to Tyga, which was kind of crazy because she was like underage. And everybody had kind of came at me and started attacking me. And it's like, nobody seen like the betrayal that was like going on behind my back of me talking to somebody, Kim, and then her little sister, which she has no control over, you know what I mean, started talking to my fiance, and then I get attacked.
At the time, the age difference raised eyebrows, with Tyga being in his 20s and already a father. Despite the public backlash, Kris allegedly encouraged the relationship and even allowed Tyga to appear on Keeping Up with the Kardashians multiple times, painting a picture that the relationship was perfectly normal. It wasn't just Tyga though. Kourtney claims that Kris has encouraged Kylie's relationships with other older men, including rappers like Drake, who famously performed at Kylie's 16th birthday party and was seen behaving inappropriately with her. Kourtney believes her mother is more concerned with aligning Kylie's image with that of older, famous men in the industry, all to keep the Kardashian-Jenner brand relevant and in the headlines. And now, Kylie is reportedly dealing with the emotional fallout of those experiences. It's not just Kourtney who's been spilling tea about Kris Jenner's behind-the-scenes manipulation. Blac Chyna, who has her own history with the Kardashian family and who shares a son with Tyga, also dropped some bombshells about Kris's influence over Kylie's relationships. According to Chyna, Kris knew full well that Tyga was dating Kylie while he was still in a relationship with her. Chyna alleges that Kris encouraged the relationship between Tyga and Kylie, despite the fact that Kylie was underage at the time. It all seems to align with the claims Kourtney is making about Kris being more than willing to push her daughters into the arms of older men, as long as it made headlines and kept the family in the spotlight. Kris Jenner's tendency to exploit her daughters' personal lives for fame has been well documented over the years. But it's not just Kylie and Kim who have been subjected to Kris' tactics. Kendall Jenner, too, has been linked to numerous older, high-profile men, including NBA stars and musicians, over the years. Fans have often speculated that these relationships were part of a broader plan to keep the Kardashian-Jenner brand in the media. But as Kourtney has pointed out, the real problem is the emotional damage that comes from being pushed into these situations. Kylie, in particular, has had to deal with the scrutiny and judgment that comes with dating high-profile men. And now, the cracks are starting to show. Kourtney's frustration with Kris has been brewing for a long time, and it seems that the final straw was seeing Kylie suffer the same fate she and her sisters endured. Kourtney is tired of seeing Kris treat her children like commodities, and she's not staying quiet any longer. If you've been following the Kardashian-Jenner family over the years, you know that Kourtney has always been the most independent of the sisters. She's often spoken about her desire to distance herself from the fame machine that Kris built. But despite her efforts, she's constantly been dragged back into the family's drama. One of the most telling moments came during an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, when it was revealed that Kris found out about Kourtney's pregnancy with her son, Rocky, at the same time as the public. Kourtney hadn't told her family about the pregnancy because, as she put it, she wanted to keep something private for once in her life. Kris was devastated, but Kourtney stood firm. She even banned her mother from attending the birth, only relenting after her partner, Travis Barker, convinced her to let Kris be there. While that incident was eventually brushed off as a misunderstanding, it's clear that Kourtney has long felt betrayed by her mother's actions. As Kourtney's revelations continue to make headlines, fans are divided. Some are fully in Kourtney's corner, agreeing that Kris has gone too far in her pursuit of fame and money. They believe that Kris has used her daughters as pawns, pushing them into harmful situations for her own benefit. One fan commented, "I believe Kris would do anything for the lifestyle." What's crazy is that these girls, now women, allow this. They probably sell their kids too. Another person added, "I truly wouldn't be surprised by anything Kris Jenner does. Look what she's already done. She had Kim redo the X tape that made her famous. How many times has that entire family sold out for money However, not everyone is siding with Kourtney. Some believe she's being hypocritical and that she has benefited from the Kardashian brand just as much as the rest of her family. One critic wrote, "Kourtney acts holier than thou, judgmental and full of hate. She's my least favorite family member."